Welcome back to the class, everyone. There's never been a better time to start farming General Skywalker. So as we continue on with our series, we're going to be talking about which characters you should be farming first and what other characters do you need for your roster that the requirements for General Skywalker are going to perfectly build you up to. So without further ado, so as is tradition with these type of videos that we've been doing specifically for Galactic Legends, and we've also done them for the ships now, we're going to be organizing the characters into the best farming order. So these aren't necessarily this character is better than that character, but we're wanting to talk about how you should do this so you can get the most bang for your buck with your roster. That being said, General Skywalker actually presents a really interesting, I don't want to call it a problem because it's the exact opposite of a problem. It makes the video a little bit challenging, but this has got to be the best value farm in the entire game. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of legendaries or Galactic Legends or whatever have good requirements embedded into what you need to get them, but General Skywalker is almost pure gold. Like, if you go around, and so we have a few other characters added to this list that aren't actual requirements, but if you go into what the game, strictly the game is saying, not what our video is talking about, and go list by list with all the characters that are needed for him, the worst character is Asajj Ventress, who is still pretty stinking good. Like, if your worst character is Asajj Ventress, you're doing great. Like, there's so many other legendaries that need, like, either Farm Boy Luke or Krennic or, like, Resistance Pilot. Like, everyone typically has losers. General Skywalker really doesn't. So that all to say, if you did this differently or you already started on this journey differently, you're probably still doing okay just because you almost can't go wrong with the way you do this. That being said, there are still other characters we can be adding to the list that you already saw that can really enhance, again, your overall roster performance and not just the character when you finally unlock them. And I did mention there's never been a better time to do this, and the reason why, I will gloss over this really quickly, is because Gas, after you complete the event, you will only have a 5-star General Skywalker. It's really not that great, and then you have to, like, spend, I think it was over a year, coming in here and buying gas from this store. Now, as of very recently, you can do that. You can still do that. That doesn't go away. But you can now also buy General Skywalker with MK2, which is available not only in the crate raid, but it's also available in Heroic Sith raid. So really, almost no matter where you are, you have this bonus option to help get him to 7 stars. So definitely nothing worth looking at now, but again, getting back to the core purpose of the video. So what characters should you be farming first? And this is the most awkward way we've ever done one of these. And by that, I mean all 5 characters in our S tier that you should be farming first are not requirements. Typically, we'll have 1 or 2 mixed in. It's all 5. And I'll go ahead and state the reasons for this right away. So your biggest bottleneck when going after General Skywalker, you want Grievous. I guess we should probably start there. The reason why we want Grievous at all is because you are already forced, we'll word it that way, to get the other 4 Separatist droids, they're right down here in the B tier because they're still really good. You're already kind of forced to get them, and they need a leader. So you can either go Newt or you can go Grievous. Newt is okay. He's not bad. The team is fine. But I really like going to Grievous because he takes the team to a whole nother level. And one of the really disgusting things that his kit will do that is great for you as a player who's building a roster is he will take all of your really garbage droids and Separatists, and he will use them as fodder to make himself even stronger and just wipe out teams. If you can get a Gear 13, doesn't have to be Relic 5, but Gear 13 Grievous, and put him with some junk droids, that is a defense team early game. It is so good because every single time one of his side droids dies, he's going to take a bonus turn, reset all of his cooldowns, and dispel all debuffs, and just uses big AoE. And again, a Gear 13 Grievous packs a lot of punch because all of his damage is scaled from his health. And I guess we're using an R7, so this isn't a fair comparison. But even at like Gear 13, you can get him to 100,000 health. That is a lot of damage. So that's why Grievous is number 1. The other reason why he's number 1 is because I think you need to focus on him first, because shard-wise, he's one of the most difficult characters to obtain very early game because he's primarily through shard shop currency. This is a terrible deal. Like, if you can avoid this, definitely avoid this. He will occasionally pop up in Fleet Store, which is a much better deal. That should be your primary source if you can. So if you're trying to gauge things out, going for General Skywalker, aim for Grievous first. If he's not your first character to get the 7 stars or whatever, then that's fine, but aim for him first because he will probably take the longest compared to everyone else. Next up are going to be the clones. The reason why we're suggesting them is because you're going to get General Skywalker, and he's a Jedi, but he's really, really meant to go with his faction, the 501st. It was custom built to go with him. That's what he's all about. I personally had to experience using gas under another lineup that wasn't clones in the very beginning. It was not very fun. He's okay, like his max health reduction against a gas, or against Malik with Darth Revan is okay, but ultimately the huge value is going to be him with clones. And I will say, and this should probably go without saying on almost all of these characters, you don't need them at relic levels. Like Grievous is nice at gear 13, but honestly all 4 of these clones, they can be gear 12. I would recommend, if you have to relic one of them, relic 5s, just because he is going to share all the stats via tactical awareness when he dies, assuming you have the Zeta. So yeah, definitely want all 4 of the clones. And the reason why we're putting them before Shaak Ti is because while Shaak Ti is a much better leader than Rex for the clones, he does have a leadership. And the one thing I don't really love about Shaak Ti having to go after her first, and maybe you can kind of make a point to, because she is a requirement, is she's on like one of the very last fleet nodes, which again, as you're a progressing player and you're trying to find characters you need, that can be a little bit challenging, whereas it's much easier to say go after Rex right away because he's available. Well, actually he's available in the guild store there. I thought he was another one, but still the guild store, and I believe is with the other guild currency as well. He's pretty darn farmable, so definitely start with them, get your clones up and going. They're a pretty good team. They will be a great team once you finally unlock gas. Next up is the A tier. So we've kind of already set ourselves up for success here. Padme herself, oh, and by the way, we referred to all the last characters can be gear 12, except for Grievous, he should be gear 13. Out of this grouping, for the event, you're only really going to need General Skywalker at relics. Does it make it easier if the rest of them are there? Yes. But he is the most important. He's the most crucial to have, because if he can't tank the hits, the whole team just kind of falls apart on phase 2. But we'll talk a little more about the event later. So Padme, you pretty much get Padme for free if you have a gear 13 Grievous. That's actually how I unlocked her way back in the day. I didn't have really any separatist team built up. My droids weren't 7 stars because they were hard node farms and they were really hard to get way back when she first dropped. I didn't really have a newt team built up, so I took Grievous, got him to gear 13, put him some junk beside him, maybe Geonosians, and he just destroyed the whole team. So Padme is pretty much free at this point if we've gotten Grievous. Shaak Ti, we've kind of already explained why she's important. You need a better lead for your clones. She's there, and she is just a flat-out requirement. You can't get around her. You have to have her to be able to unlock General Skywalker. It is worth saying, though, she is a fantastic character after you unlock General Skywalker. Not only is she needed to unlock Cam with the clones in Geonosis territory battles, but she's also just a really good Jedi. She pairs super well with Jedi Master Luke. She has one of the best basics in game. It gives offense up to all allies. That is super rare. Most characters out there, they have some type of pigeonholing where they only work Galactic Republic or Jedi or even light side. No, it's just everyone. So this becomes very handy for a number of feats, both in GCs and in Conquest, anytime offense up is needed. Dispel on basic is also great. A lot of this other stuff is just really stinking good, specifically with Jedi Master Luke later in the game. One of the neat things that Shaak has is both of her 2 specials, as well as the specials she gets from Jedi Master Luke, they can all make Jedi Master Luke taunt. So no matter pretty much which thing is on cooldown, she can make Jedi Master Luke taunt, which is pretty stinky nice. Her uniques are okay, but these are mostly revolving around clones, and we're kind of going to get there. General Kenobi, pretty simple, straightforward, great character. You were going to use him primarily in the Padme team, but even before that, he could actually be a little bit higher on this list because he's probably truly plug and play. The reason why I like the other ones first, because Grievous with himself is really a team, and the clones are a team within themselves, and they're a little bit more accessible. I think other than, actually no, they're super accessible because most of them are on currency nodes, except for Ark, who's actually on a Cantina node. So all pretty accessible beginning game. General Kenobi, though, he can be plugged into a number of places, either a Jedi team, Galactic Republic, or even just outside. Again, similar to our good friend Shaak Ti, he just has abilities that apply to everyone. Whenever another ally is critically hit, if General Kenobi is alive, they gain critical hit immunity and he gains taunt for 1 turn. There's no qualifier here. There's no rule that says they have to be Jedi. There's no rule that says they have to be light side. He just does it and it functions. He does get a little bit more fun stuff here when it comes to Padme and Galactic Republic later on, but overall still a really solid character. Jedi Anakin, another character that is not a requirement for General Skywalker, but it is worth noting because you need actually Jedi Anakin's ship to be able to perform in the fleet variation of it, and to really use that to its fullest effect, especially in the negotiator fleet. You're going to want to have Jedi Anakin Skywalker at least probably gear 12, if not gear 13. Doesn't have to be necessarily be R7. I do like him there for other uses, but overall he's a character that you want, and he adds a really nice addition to the Padme team, both before and after you finish the General Skywalker farm. You can also be used with Qui-Gon Jinn, but that is really limited to GAC. If we're wanting to go for a fuller package, especially with TB and Territory Wars, this combo is really stinking cool, especially way before you get JMK. And then Ahsoka. Ahsoka is really good with any Galactic Republic team, primarily with the Padme team, which again is the one we're on right now. The way that this is currently set up is so that you can just always have 3 levels of teams at all times. You can start off with Grievous and a clone team up here, Grievous with trash obviously, and then Shakti kind of gets promoted into the clones, and then you have these you have this Galactic Republic core team, and then we go all the way down to the next B tier level. And again, these are not B tier characters. This is again about order. 3PO, he is really nice. The reason we kind of have him in the latter portion is because there's not a really good flow, because he's required to have Ewoks to get him. And while that's all good and fun, it doesn't really have this natural progression that, say, you know, getting Grievous and getting the Grievous team, and then flowing into Padme, and then getting Padme. He can work on a number of teams. If you have Padme, he is good there. He can function as the 5th for a time. Ultimately, he shines with CLS, but we don't want to go down a huge sidetrack with CLS while trying to farm gas. Well, CLS is very good. We're trying to be a little bit more focused on that than just spreading off into a bunch of different directions. So good, but he can wait till a little bit later, get the core parts of the teams we're already working on. And then are gonna be the next 4 droids. I guess if we're being really nitpicky, if you can do B1, B2, and Magna first, just because they're a little bit more core members of the team. Droideka really shines in Territory Wars, but again, kind of a similar concept to Qui-Gon Jinn. We're trying to aim for a fuller game aspect. Droideka is needed in Geonosis Territory Battle, so he really is not a waste outside of the General Skywalker event. You still have some good use there. But overall, he's just probably the least significant as far as that goes. And again, we've been talking about relic levels. Most of these characters will be fine at gear 12 for the event. If you can do one at relics, I would highly encourage B1. He is your main source of damage. He's going to constantly be able to throw out his AoE, blast them, and that is what's really going to drive everything home. And this is probably not like super well known and or agreed with, but the second most important relic for the team is Magna. If Magna does not go down, then Droideka, B2, and B1 can all do their thing, and they will get General Skywalker down very easily. There was a misconception there for a long time that it was actually Droideka or even B2 is better. It's not. It's Magna. If you can get in Magna to taunt, it's even better. And one of the, I guess this is kind of another bonus, Magna is needed at relics no matter what for JMK way later down the road once you kind of move past this. So definitely go after the droids. They're very good. And last, and I guess least, is Asajj, and I feel really bad putting Asajj in a C tier category. She's kind of like the shining element to a Night Sisters team. She is good. The reason why we're just kind of putting her last is because she's not plug and play, and we're not going to get sidetracked with our General Skywalker farm to farm 2 or 4 other Night Sisters. I guess we could just throw Daka in here, and that's pretty much a team, but even that's not entirely true. Like, you need to have Mother Talzin Zeta. You need to have Zombie at least gear 10. So there are other requirements to that team. I guess that would probably be a great idea to do post General Skywalker, if you, assuming you haven't done it already. If you've already have your Night Sisters, then this whole spiel is kind of irrelevant as far as Asajj goes. But yeah, overall she's good. She just doesn't have this natural flow of progression, and I really do love how good or how well this sets you up. Just to have 3 solid teams, and then I guess you can work on a 4th really solid team after it's all said and done. So let me know what you guys think. We'll be doing one of these for Jedi Luke, but until the next time, stay awesome.